This classic plus Shaman is electrifying on Project Epoch. Let's go.
Hello and welcome in. It's time for another Epoch class overview. And today we'll be getting in tune with the elements as we talk about the Shaman. I spent a few hours with Hatson from the Epoch Discord and he gave me all the Shaman knowledge and insights I needed to make this video today. You know the drill, grab a seat in the front, maybe a snack. Let's get started. Before we jump into general class changes, I just received word about a short update. Yep, Dwarven Shamans are available on Epoch.
What?
How are ya?
The Wildhammer clan of the Hinterlands have been...
I thought he said Tauren. That's right. Tauren Shamans are on Project Epoch. I'm like, well, they owe... Dwarven.
busy teaching shamanic practices to the dwarves of Coldridge Valley. There, Dwarven Shamans will have new class quests that fit seamlessly into the vanilla world. Okay, sorry for that small interruption.
That's not funny.
On to the changes. First up, Water Shield is now attainable at level 28, meaning you could take full advantage of its mana restoring boons way earlier. Next, another boost to early caster leveling, especially when solo. The talent Earth Grasp has been brought down the tree and changed to reduce how much spell kickback you will receive whenever you have an Earth Totem down. Likewise, your talents that reduce cast time are also brought down earlier. Wait, what's that on the tooltip? Molten Blast? Yep, that's a new spell. Epoch essentially grants you a spammable fire spell here that benefits from most but not all of the talents.
Hurls a ball of molten lava at the target for 344 and resetting the duration of your active flame shock. Guys, I don't know much about Paladin. I mean, about Shaman. Interesting. That's going to be you, eh? That's going to be you, Jocelyn? That's cool. 0 cooldown. Wow.
That impact Lightning Bolt. We'll talk more about why this ability is important when we get to the spec discussions. Like many other party buffs on Epoch, totems have become raid-wide. This is of course a change.
That is nice. Raid-wide? Like, I can't even express how freaking awesome that is. And I think raids are going to be like 25 man, right? I actually don't mind that. Or like, let's say ZG, I think it will be like a 10 man, ZG and AQ20. I don't mind that. 25, yes. Okay, cool.
Change that will simplify raid group composition, but this could...
Oh, hold on. Champagne, what's your Rested XP bar add-on called? Is it called Rested XP? I forget what it's called. Reported. I totally missed that. Sorry, Champagne.
Could result in bringing a little less shaman to the raid compared to vanilla and TBC. Although that conversation has a lot more nuance that needs to be considered. The addition of totem calls allows you to drop a preset combination of all 4 totem types.
No.
Unlike future versions.
That is huge. See, one thing I hate about Shaman, or something that I didn't really like about them, is that you have to put one totem down at a time. And then now you walk away from them. Well, now you're out of your totems. And now you have to like put them down again. That to me just made that class feel so crappy. Like it took my interest out of Shamans for some reason. I didn't like that.
Of this ability. On Epoch, these calls have a cast time, but you can move while casting this ability. I think this is a good way to balance the modernity of totemic calls while still preserving the classic feel of slow and meaningful combat choices. On the topic of totems, Fire Nova Totem has had a tweak to make it much more useful. Let's check out what Hatson had to say.
Yeah, but whenever you placed it, it would immediately generate like a lot of threat on proxy as soon as you place it. So mobs would often hit it like before it can blow up. It generates 0 threat before it blows up now. So you can just throw that down when you're fighting things.
Thanks, Hatson. I've played a lot of Elemental Shaman, and not having to work around that threat bug is gonna feel awesome for you guys. Flame Tongue weapon has been changed to now provide you with some spell power. That's a significant buff to all spell damage you'll be dishing out as a shaman, especially in those earlier levels. Now for our shamans who just can't get enough of those Wind Fury procs, Epoch has changed Wind Fury to have a 36% proc chance. This was always the case for TBC dual wielding, but this is now the case for two-handed enhancement players as well.
Oh, that is so awesome. Holy crap. That is so powerful. 36% chance of dealing an additional attack. Equal to 2 extra attacks with 333 extra attack power. Holy crap. You're about to bust. That is insane.
We'll discuss what that means for enhancement a little later. Shamans who want to level tank fantasy should feel emboldened to on Epoch.
Really?
Epoch has reverted TBC era nerfs to Rockbiter, and the Spirit Weapons talent has received a change to disable the threat.
I can't freaking wait for the special weapons for this. Oh yeah, heck yeah, man. Increasing its damage per second by 9, and causing melee attacks made using this weapon to generate additional threat. Okay, Turtle WoW has something like that. Last 30 minutes. Okay, oh yeah, that one did too. Like I said, I don't know much about Shaman. Gives a chance to parry enemy melee attacks and reduces the threat generated by your melee attacks unless you're wearing a shield. Okay, so if you're wearing a shield, now you're doing extra threat. That sounds kind of like Turtle WoW.
Reduction the talent provides if you're wearing a shield. They're definitely viable while leveling in dungeons, but keep in mind it will be more difficult as you approach max level content. It's a safe guess to say they won't be a main tank or anything, at least from what we know right now. A lot of classes in Epoch have new RP, or maybe you could say flavor abilities. The Shaman in this case has a new ability called Soothe Elementals. I wonder if there's some secret to discover by using this ability in a certain place. That's it for the general class change.
Hold on a
Secret to
second.
discover.
Soothes the target elemental, reducing the range at which it will attack you by 10. Only affects elemental targets level 70 or lower. Okay. Okay. Sure. Tank Shami gets his threat from Earthshock. Yeah. You missed that sentence when looking at the talents. Nice. Yeah, yeah.
By using this ability in a certain place. That's it.
Has to be a nod to some Molten Core interaction. It must, eh? Because that's the only thing I can think of.
For the general class changes, let's talk about enhancement gameplay.
For honor.
In PvE,
Nice.
the Enhancement Shaman was once seen as a support class, but here on Epoch, I've been told their performance in the beta has been positive due to the Wind.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. That looks freaking epic. This right here looks like old school WoW. Like when it was cool. Like what we're playing now. I just wanted to say that. It looks freaking awesome.
Fury proc chance change, you can dabble with a two-hander or try dual wield. With either weapon style, you can mix in spell weaving for some interesting results as well. Take note, spell weaving applies to Lightning Bolt and Molten Blast only. On the note of spell weaving, Epoch has made some changes to Storm Strike. While the number looks smaller...
Okay, we were talking about this yesterday. Spell weaving, is that the same as like seal twisting? I have one outside of the party diamond. I'm Shami main till the day I die. Nice. It's just a melee elemental Shami. Oh, it's like melee weaving for hunters. Oh, like that. Okay, I understand. So Storm Strike. Instantly attack with both weapons. In addition, the next two sources of nature damage. Oh yeah, that's right. Dealt to the target are increased by 20%. So it's the next two sources of nature damage. Where this one is instantly attack with your weapon or both weapons if you're dual wielding. In addition, the target takes 5% additional nature damage, lasts 12 seconds. So yeah, this number looks smaller because this is 20%, but it's only two sources of nature damage. 20%, you're going down to 5%, but it's all sources of nature damage for 12 seconds. So you'll probably get more out of this.
Notice the effect is now a duration and not a charge. This means you and your entire raid will benefit from this effect to a much higher degree than base.
And your entire raid. Oh yeah, I guess it's a deep... Okay,
TBC.
okay.
Enhancement Shamans will thus be more attractive to raid teams and deal a bit more damage on their own. Itemization as an enhancement has gotten very, very interesting. With the introduction of primal wielding, there are some opportunities
Sorry, I'm in the
to
way.
include more caster stats on the pieces you choose. Combined with mental quickness, this means a larger percent of your damage will be coming from your spells when you're weaving. Maybe consider some more hybrid items with secondary stats such as spell hit and spell crit to go along with your usual physical oriented gear. Balancing out your physical and caster stats could yield some surprising results. This is the enhancement dungeon set that will be available on launch. The 8
Hold on.
piece bonus provides the class with some more cleave. The 3% extra crit chance for shocks is nothing small either. This empowers talents that encourage you to crit frequently, like Elemental Devastation or Elemental Focus.
But the reason why this is really cool for Enhance is because it supports talents like Elemental Devastation. That's like one of the core talents you go for as Enhance.
Consider all these points and the fact that there are tons of new items and content we have no idea about yet, and you might start getting a headache. But the good kind. Epoch really has so much mystery and excitement about it, perfect for player discovery and experimentation. In PvP, vanilla enhancement was a lottery of RNG and overall kinda weak if you got unlucky. But due to baseline TBC and the Epoch changes, their damage is much more consistent. Some things to consider: the Storm Strike change does nerf your burstiness a little bit. Your damage won't be much lower in the grand scheme of things, so don't fret too much.
Yep.
However, you will still be lacking any form of hard CC. It should still be fun with the RNG components, although don't expect to be at the top of the totem pole when it comes to an arena meta. I hope you take that as a challenge. Now, the Elemental Shaman.
Oh shit.
Elemental Shamans have received some much needed changes to fully unlock their potential.
Saw a hunter named Cute Girly with a pet called Furry Husband. Well, you know who to call. It's called the Knights of Good.
In PvE, Molten Blast will allow you to deal with nature immune targets more easily throughout Classic, so that
The target resetting the duration. Oh, okay.
you aren't totally helpless in some scenarios. That's a big deal in some encounters, but also throughout leveling. The new talent Rolling Thunder allows you to produce lightning shield charges that you then fire at your enemies. You can expend some of these charges forcefully with Earthshock in order to deal a spike of damage. The addition of Rolling Thunder could pose an interesting question. Do you run Water Shield for more mana, or Lightning Shield for a bit more burst? I'm excited to see if this mechanic can make the Elemental Shaman rotation a little more active.
This kind of feels like they've done some Turtle WoW changes, or is it just me? It's like Static Shock and Fulmination. It seems similar, but I don't really know.
Talking itemization, the stats Elemental Shaman seek will not differ much from TBC. You'll still be looking for spell power and spell crit as your secondaries. The Ellie set has cleave bonuses with the 6-piece, and the
Okay, so there's an enhanced set. There's a Ellie set. Are all the classes getting like a set for each talent tree? Like, so let's say Molten Core, a paladin can get a protection set, a ret set, and a holy set. And a shaman can get an enhanced set, an elemental set, and a restoration set. Is that kind of how it works? Spec specific tier sets. That is, I like that. Because as a paladin player, I'm sorry, but the tier gear is trash. I still think it's the best game ever made, but it's just trash. Like, it's not even good to use. I guess tier 2 is okay, but like tier 1, who uses that? Now, if we can actually use our tier sets, that's freaking awesome.
8-piece allows you to fire twist, meaning you can now drop a Fire Nova totem to AoE while everyone can still enjoy the Totem of Wrath bonus. Overall, this should be a decent boost to your damage, especially in council type encounters. When in PvP, Molten Blast provides spell school flexibility, so if you're interrupted on Lightning Bolt, you can still fire off Molten Blast and
Okay,
vice
that's
versa.
nice.
The Rolling Thunder talent can provide more kill potential if you expend charges with Earthshock. But remember, that's also your interrupt. Spend it wisely. On average, you will have less spell kickback with Earth's Grasp. However, that new talent Rolling Thunder is replacing Eye of the Storm in your talent tree. Overall, I think Elemental has had some net positive changes in both PvE and PvP. So Shaman fans who already enjoyed the spec in Vanilla or TBC should definitely be excited to get their hands on this upgraded version. And last but certainly not least, Chain Healer. Restoration.
This is disgusting and vile. This must be reported. Based on the current sets we've seen so far, Pally tier sets are going to go crazy. I don't think I've seen them. I haven't seen them very carefully. I got to take a look.
Shaman. Honestly, this section is going to be kind of short. There aren't many changes to the spec. Epoch is a new experience that will still evolve, so who knows what could happen soon. In PvE, you're still probably going to be the best raid healer, and you're still going to be doing a lot of chain healing. As mentioned before, your totems are raid wide, but Healing Stream Totem has been altered to do smart healing, aka it will prioritize healing the lowest HP members of your raid. The Restoration Shaman dungeon set amplifies its existing strengths, but
Healing them
no
by
interesting
50.
interactions here to really highlight.
Hold on. Your healing wave and lesser healing wave spells have a 2% additional chance to critically heal. Amount of charges by your earth shield by 3. Damn, this seems good. Actually, I don't know how their tier I don't know what their tier sets look like in vanilla, because I never raided with a shaman, but this seems good for healing.
But no interesting interactions here to really highlight.
Oh, hold on a second. Raid wide cleansing totems, all the buffs they need, goes crazy. Heck yeah, man. Sierra, was that shamans making pentagram with chain heal? Yeah, not a good look, Epoch. Not a good look.
PvP healing performance is left unchanged, but you can subspec to Elemental and spend way less talents to get reduced cast time on damaging spells. This could mean Resto might have a bit more kill potential. Also, if your heals get kicked but you want to stand and fight, I guess you could now start casting Molten Blast. Alright, that's about it for Resto. I think we're ready to talk a little bit about how all the changes I've mentioned could impact your leveling experience. Leveling as a shaman is certainly more flexible in Epoch. Compared to TBC, the major shifts to the elemental talent tree should make your kill speeds a lot better, a lot earlier. And having Water Shield at level 28 should stop you from having to drink every pull.
Nice.
You aren't relegated to enhancement in the early levels. You can play out your elemental dream right from the onset.
Okay, see, that elemental shaman is something maybe I would try, but do ret paladins on Epoch get Crusader Strike at level 1? I don't know. Oh, or is it the last point of their talents? I don't know. Oh, it is a last point, so level 44. Yeah, I'm thinking Protection Paladin, Enhanced Shaman, or Ellie Shaman, or maybe even Warlock. I have no idea, but let's keep going.
Of course, Enhancement is still strong, and now you can feel less bad about
it's a less
choosing
talent
the
for red.
two-handed in your later levels, if you so choose. With the Primal Wielding talent, you may have a much more active rotation in your leveling journey as well. Spell weaving while playing Enhancement has me really excited to try the spec out. As I mentioned before, Resto didn't really get any changes that would make their leveling experience any different. But most folks don't really spec full Resto to heal content in the early stages of the game.
Why would you do
Well,
that?
if you're looking for good profession combinations, you could maybe try Enchanting and Tailoring to get additional spell power or attack power, Blacksmithing to craft yourself belt buckles that give you every stat, which is great for a hybrid like Shaman's. Leatherworking has new temporary armor kits with great enhancements.
Increasing damage and healing done by magical spells by 12 for an hour. What? Only the Leatherworker's bracers. That's kind of cool.
And the ability to craft yourself gear you could use. For racials, Orca is quite a bit stronger than the rest when it comes to PvE, especially with Epoch's version of Blood Fury. Enhancement has a great double dip opportunity here. But maybe there's something cool you could do with Troll.
Where you want me go?
Feel free to experiment.
Dude, that's gonna be crazy, man. Like, imagine making a ret paladin and you have like berserking or whatever that orc one was. I never play horde either. Like, that's just insane. Yeah, like, why would you ever level as a healer? Like, don't ever spec healing if you're leveling. I don't, unless they're like, I don't know if a holy priest does good damage or what, but it just sounds stupid. You can heal any dungeon at any level with like no healing talents or healing gear easily. Yeah. I don't suppose you want a level 38 offhand with no stats, but plus 11 spell power. I'm not sure. I'm so hyped for new rare race class combos on Epoch. I've seen Tauren Priest or Warlock on their website. Not sure which one it is, though. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's cool, man. I like the... Oh, it's Priest. Okay. Yeah, I like that you can swap racials at level 60 and that there's a 2-week cooldown. So you can swap racials every 2 weeks. I think that's freaking wicked.
Don't forget, on Epoch, you can swap racials at level 60. Finally, I asked Hatson what made him so excited about Shaman on Epoch. Let's listen in.
I'm very excited for a lot of the cutscenes that Epoch has made for Shamans. I think there's a lot of things that spice them up, especially for Enhanced and Elemental. There's a lot of new stuff going on there, a lot of new ideas. Itemization, again, could be totally wild. There's a lot of things to experiment there. And because we don't know how the content's going to be, whether that's the new raids or the new boss mechanics or the new items. So there's like a lot of things to think about that I really like, because that makes it refreshing.
You heard it from the man yourself. Hatson has been playing Shaman since the original TBC came out, and Epoch's version feels refreshing to him. Thank you, Hatson, for all the insights, because this video could not have happened without you. And of course, another big thank you to everybody who's been sending love for the last video and sticking around to watch this one. Now, let me know in the comments, will you be playing Shaman, or what class do you want to know about next? If you want more videos like these, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, because I'm probably already working on the next one. I'll be streaming lots of Project Epoch on launch and going forward, so join me here live on YouTube. This is Muzzy, and I'll see you guys next time.
Nice, dude. Not gonna lie, this guy makes, like, for a... He seems like a new guy for someone who's just making videos, like 563 subscribers. Like, that's more than me. But yeah, he's getting some good views. He's making good videos, man. I don't know. I'm gonna like that here. I'm gonna freaking spread the word. Oh, he's gone up 100 subs since last night. He's doing some good work. Yeah. So you guys gonna go Shaman? Are you guys pumped for that?